advantage. To a decisive clash. Wolfsburg, there and present, of course, for their 2 victories in the Women's Champions League. Final handshakes, final preparation. It is a damp night. Nothing though to dampen the spirit. As the home fans. Let's take a look at the team. Stefan Ledge has said that his side's lack of game time in January will only help the squad tonight. He makes 3 changes to the back line that plays Cologne at the start of February. Hilde, Wedemeyer and Dijkstra all return to the defence. Vivian Enderman comes back into the starting 11. She scored in the league phase, thrashing of Manchester United. Captain Svenja Hutz makes her 50th appearance in European competitions for Wolfsburg tonight, and Linnet Bielenstein is just 1 goal behind the leaders in the battle for the Golden Boot. Quick look at the refereeing team for tonight. Festu leads a Romanian trio of referees on the pitch, as both the captains are called over. Roman Sveja and the armband for Juventus. Captain Svenja Hutz, who is celebrating a half-century of European appearances in the green of Wolfsburg tonight. Massimiliano Ganzi shuffles his pack from the 2-0 win over Como at the weekend. Lenzini returns to the back line. She was part of the squad the last time Juventus reached the quarter-finals. The Avolsi won this title last year with Arsenal, and Goldo scored in a victory over Atletico Madrid. Sporting Loni Anna Capetta makes her debut for Juventus tonight. She's partnered with Amelie Vonsgaard up front, and Juventus, well, they boast so much depth on the bench, with Italian legend Cristiano Ginelli amongst the substitutes. Well, these two have faced each other before. That was in the group stage back in 2021. Juventus winning 2-0 here. Dijkstra will be hoping that the defence around her can do something about that tonight. Tina Johannes had the easiest run in this competition, conceding 10 goals, 2 more than Juventus. Team go past them. Very little to separate these two in the league phase table, just 1 point in it. Juventus have the slight advantage. Hope it will make for a close and exciting tie over these 2 legs. So underway in the first of 2 knockout round playoff legs. Set the tone for the battle for the quarter-finals. Wolfsburg, 2-time winners of the UEFA Women's Champions League, against Juventus, before reach the quarter-final stage. Can they make a big step in getting back to that point tonight?
Did lose it home to Chelsea come the end of the round, but now can make amends here in this knockout round. Darian Jenkins alongside me, Chris Whittingham. Darian, what are you looking forward to from this match?
There's a lot of history between these 2 teams. Wolfsburg have yet to beat Juventus, but Wolfsburg has the legacy of winning the Champions League 2 times. They have a young team, a lot of changeover.
They're lining up for a free kick. Estella is over it, along with Abby Brighton. More likely to be the left-footed Spanish wingback to deliver this one in. Here is Estella's delivery, will come all the way through. It's a dangerous ball, well dealt with. But Juventus hoping to maintain possession in this second phase through Lenzini. Looking towards that back post, headed down, but Vansgaard will control. Another cross lifted in. Trying to peel off the shoulder there was Harvikin, but well handled. Now controlled again. Still has that sharp left boot, the former Levante player in her first season with the Bianconeri of Juventus. Mentioned the previous meetings between these two clubs back in the group stage of the 2021-2022 edition of the competition. Juve actually won at this stadium by 2-0. Not too many players around from those teams as Bidenstein fouled there in midfield, but on we play through Svenja Puts. Caitlin Dijkstra. Trying to make life uncomfortable for her. Wiedemeyer. Linder in a significantly changed back four for Wolfsburg from the first match back out of the winter break against Cologne. And they won by 2-1, but Dijkstra now on the ball, one of the players that was a regular feature in the league phase. For that next pass with Boots. Of possession will come all the way back to the goalkeeper.
Something I love is watching this build-up is Juventus' shape. Their constant pressure, the shifting that they have, how organized. You see the two forwards and their midfield forcing the ball to one side. Wolfsburg trying to find those open pockets, but Juventus so far doing a really good job to lock them out, force the ball wide.
That forward ball from Sarai Linder, the left back. Well, one back, but Juve unable to keep it for a prolonged period. Linder once more, but dispossessed. Good pressure there coming forward from Bonatea.
Again, it's that collapsing pressure in those wide channels from Juventus. You saw Bonatea use it because they're unrelenting and that they're okay giving up possession. They move as a unit, and it's been so difficult for teams to break them down, and it results in Juventus getting those attacking chances, albeit without much possession.
Lenzini will come forward in this center back position to get the throw in. Then back from whence it came by Linder. Lenzini, who's been at the club for some time. Tempted header there from Gouda, but to go off a Wolfsburg player last, it would appear, and eventually the corner is given in the favor of the Bianconeri. See the frustration there from Stefan Lurch in the dugout for Wolfsburg today. Second spell in charge, was around for a 5-year period, reached the Women's Champions League final 3 times in that previous run. The level of competition has gotten much harder over time. Corner delivered to that near post, it's flicked on and in! What a start to the tie! Juventus, 6 minutes into this knockout round match, have taken the lead in Wolfsburg. And it's Estella who gets the flick on.
Look at this brilliant service in that near post. Juventus causing so much traffic for Wolfsburg. A brilliant ball whipped in. And you just need a touch. That with Wolfsburg is they have such an electric attack. You know that they're going to create chances and score goals. But if you're a team like Juventus, you are knowing that there's vulnerabilities, those poor giveaways, those lapses, spaces in the back, where Juventus are fine transitioning, fine taking advantage of set pieces and those deep crosses and getting it on the end. Because Wolfsburg are a little too confident going forward, they don't always button up in the back, and you saw them punished for it in that first goal.
Exactly what Massimiliano Canzi would have been looking for from the start, and again a good run forward here. Capetta couldn't control at that time, was very nearly in for a second goal. And the offside flag comes up anyway.
That shows you how quickly this Juventus side, how disciplined they can be, and on a dime they can turn the game around. And you see just offside, but getting the second look. But again, warning signs for Wolfsburg on that back line.
Capetta looking to get off to a flying start to her Juve career. You come in the middle of the season, the middle of the Champions League campaign, and had a massive contribution as that long ball towards Berenstein is just a bit overhit. Giveaway, and now Wolfsburg can respond through Berenstein. Lovely control to the middle, and still not massively far away from Endeman, who came forward.
Really, really good look here. Just look at the fancy feet on Endeman. She just slices it, not able to get around it. But Wolfsburg, a really good transition. I'm loving seeing Linus Berenstein hold the ball up, allow others around her to get a little bit higher, because Juventus are collapsing that pressure on her, and it's leaving gaps left and right for Wolfsburg to get through.
Controlled there by Brighton in midfield. Vangsgaard. Vangsgaard, former Paris Saint-Germain player, has gotten off to a great start in 2026. 3 goals in 4 games to start the calendar year. Juve in general has gotten 2026 off to a very good start. 7 wins and 8 since the conclusion of the league phase in the Champions League. 5 consecutive matches won by the Bianconeri. Here's Bonansea. Tricky feed and looking for a window to get a pass away, but instead for Lenzini, a decent delivery comes glancing through, controlled by Estella. Now Volti. Champions League winner last season with Arsenal. Slip on behind, Estella's cross, and the chance is on there for Bonansea, making that crashing run. Couldn't quite make the contact. Well handled there by Alexandra Pop to lead Wolfsburg the other direction. Now Linder.
Those transition moments for Wolfsburg, when Juventus has so many numbers high, are where they have to take advantage of Juve and the spaces they leave it behind. You look at the wingbacks for Juventus, and they're getting end line, sending crosses in, trying to get in on the other side. Because they're so high, there's massive gaps for Wolfsburg and a player like Linus Berenstein to get in behind, and they're not taking full advantage of it.
The attempt there to go direct, just a bit off. Of Pauline Perromani, who goes to Denver Summit, the new expansion club of the NWSL. So it's De Jong who will take over, the 23-year-old who was part of the Dutch side of the Euros. Here's that challenge that comes for the Portuguese center forward.
Minga just coming in a little bit too late, being aggressive. Some of the frustration from Wolfsburg is clearly happening on the pitch. It's a very unnecessary foul, facing away from her goal. Another setup for Juve to get going.
Vangsgaard letting it go. Wolfsburg looking to gain control of the game and look for that equalizer. Juve starting fabulously. Brighton does well to escape that pressure and find De Jong, but here comes the pressure from Wolfsburg. Bittenstein returning for Endemann, but sweeping defending there coming from Kuhlberg in the center of defense.
Great pressure there from Wolfsburg, just locking it wide, getting into the attack, making Juventus have to scrap and scramble to just get a ball out.
And a miscontrol on that left side was there for Vivian Endemann. Did not start a match in the league phase, but now starts in this first game of the knockout round. Quite a few key figures for Wolfsburg out due to injury. Peta going chasing, but now being controlled by Stina Johannes. Here's Wedemeyer. Down the line. And now chasing here, the cross coming in from Hoods, and it's a dangerous one towards De Jong, went to Palmet before it went off that crossbar. Out of trouble, but dangerous ball in from Hoods. And Wolfsburg is back on it again through Linder, who's forward from left back. Bit of an awkward one there for De Jong.
A shot across doesn't matter. It's a shot on target. It makes the keeper have to respect what's going to happen on that right side.
Here's Bielda. Dijkstra. Linder. In behind, trying to cut inside again. Endemann, who's had a lot of the play on this left side. Endemann taking a strike on it, would appear. Blocked with real pace, but they're inside, not close to getting a touch.
I like seeing these players coming to life, taking the chances. Endemann has been so good. Here's a look back. It's just hitting off of the crossbar. De Jong having to try to make a save. A really good look from Hoot, but it going side to side for Wolfsburg is where they're going to take advantage of Juventus, and especially Endemann going 1v1. Seeing them start to heat up and gain some confidence in the attack.
So far, all of the ball for Wolfsburg, but Juventus still with that lead. They took advantage of their one chance from the corner. Wedemeyer. Dijkstra. Lifted forward. Well there by Hoots, but recover here by Juventus and see what they can do with a bit of possession. Estella go direct as will be the aim on occasion, but nothing in it there. Throw it to Wolfsburg. 7 times winners of the Bundesliga, twice winners of the UEFA Women's Champions League, back in 2012-13 and 13-14 as well. Reached the final on 4 other occasions. The clubs that has always invested in the women's game and had a strong team. But Bayern Munich now starting to provide a formidable challenge. That's a heavy sliding challenge in there, and a bit too much from Lenzini. Marina Pesciu deciding for the moment to keep the cards in her pocket, but a heavy challenge coming in here.
Dangerous tackle, really unnecessary. Tie her up on the pitch. You see she was trying to block the run going through. Ultimately gets more of a tactical foul so that Wolfsburg doesn't transition, but good on the referee to not pull the card out at that moment.
ball forward into Hoots. And now Bittenstein couldn't control it there, but appreciative of the idea. The former Juventus striker herself, 4 goals in this Champions League and is top goal scorer in all competitions.
It's always fun when you get to play against your old team as a former player. There's always a little bit more to the game.
Interesting comments from Bittenstein in the media saying that she doesn't know what next season will have in store for her, could potentially be on the move once again. Here's Bielda with a delivery. Bittenstein waiting. It's a poor header though, will come for Endeman. And sharp covering defending there for Bonansea. And draws the whistle with a high boot in there from Vivian Endeman.
Yeah, you see, she just gets a little bit of a touch on Bonansea. But I give credit to Bonansea. She's playing wing-back. She's the captain of the team. An Italian leader coming back, defending constantly. I think she's so emblematic of the principles of Juventus and how they're able to hold Wolfsburg and their attack off. You see some of the frustration again with the very late, kind of blatant fouls that Wolfsburg are giving away.
Forward ball from De Jong, won temporarily there by Puff in midfield, the German legend. Now controlled by Panmors. Bangsgaard slow to get up. It was a heady coming together there in the middle of the park, and a pair of players worse for it. There's Bielda, only just back on one knee. Kind of an awkward foul, and it's like something clipped her. That was that arm up high, wasn't it, there from Bangsgaard?
Yeah, it looks like it was just a lot of physical arms failing, trying to push off of each other a little bit. Looks like she caught one just in the face, but she's up and looks like she's okay.
That's a little bit of a gash as well that opens up on her nose. That will require some treatment. Heavy coats on in the dugout and in the stands as well. Another frigid evening in Germany. Some of the weather has forced cancellation of matches in the Frauen-Bundesliga. Source of frustration for the head coach of Wolfsburg, Stefan Lurch. Talk about the relative fitness, and I guess in some ways it's either you're well rested or you're not sharp, and really the outcome of the game determines what the narrative will end up being.
But it's tough if you're Wolfsburg. You're wanting to do better than how you ended Champions League. You're wanting to come in with momentum, building on the film that you've come in and saw and where the gaps are, especially defensively for Wolfsburg. And I think what we're seeing in this match is some rustiness because they have had those matches delayed. Although they've played one so far, it's still not as sharp as we're seeing from the Juventus side, who have had a few more under their belt.
Bielda will continue to get treatment on that high arm up from Amelie Bangsgaard. Having a conversation there with Svenja Hoots. Now get back on it. Wolfsburg will temporarily play down to 10 players. Juventus having the lead in the game through Anna Capetta. Good header there from the near post. Wolfsburg unable to handle off the line. Linder. And Dijkstra is getting back on the pitch now. There's Thea Bielda. Header forward, but Juve now back in possession through Brighton. But a better recovery there from Endeman, and it looks a real position of promise for Wolfsburg. Endeman turning the other way, helps it off for Bittenstein, who needs a window. Bittenstein's effort deflected. Well handled there by Emma Kohlberg, the defender, just to get a boot in the way.
Such a good look here from Wolfsburg. This quick transition, Endeman just pushing up Abby Brighton and driving forward, and it's the runners around her that there's gaps. This ball should have been played right here. She slices her defender. Bittenstein gets on top of it, looks for that little window, but a really good block from Kohlberg there at the end.
coming all the way back to facilitate the play. Frustrated there with a challenge that comes towards her. Having a bit of a go as well from the floor. All helped on. Estella. That pass backwards to no one in particular. Harvican closest, but unable to get to it. Juventus have drawn a lot of credit for how they handled the league phase, how they went up against some of the top teams in the competition. Still a club that's building to this level. Have only reached the quarterfinal once in their history. There's real belief that they can cause Wolfsburg problems, and they have done so far. Nice ball between lines, and Pop trying to put herself in the way, and does well to win a free kick off Abby Brighton at the savvy of a player in Pop who has very much been there and done that.
That's the player that you look to on your team to give you some energy, to play the dark arts, to know what's next, how to solve problems on the pitch. Wolfsburg needing the goal right now. You're looking at a player like Alexander Pop, the legend, to guide you.
9th all-time in the history of the Frauen Bundesliga in total appearances. She's been at Wolfsburg since 2012. Will send it across at real pace. Headed down. Petamors losing out, and nice control here from Valti through midfield. That big switch of play. A couple can get onto it. Capetta will control and has a couple of options for the cross. Will lift into that penalty area. Chasing Estella. Estella Carbonell. Unable to get to that one.
It's a good look here. You can see very Juventus style, quick transition, switching the point of play, whipping a cross in. Those crosses in the run of play, though, haven't been on point. You can see Juventus trying to pinpoint where those runs are coming from, but there's not a dynamic enough space inside the 18 for her teammates to get on the end of it.
But again, Juve just about putting out that fire, but Vivian Endemann is causing all sorts of problems at the moment.
I love this from Endemann because she's pouncing on the mistakes of Juve in the middle of the pitch and just driving. You can see her reading with Berenstein, getting inside of the 18, trying to play her, but a really good look here from Wolfsburg.
Perhaps fortunate there for Brighton. She let it run, but thankfully it was towards a fellow defender. Coming forward, Gouda. Return towards Gouda there from Bonansea. Couldn't quite get towards that right side. Carbonell with a cross in. A initial hit there from Capetta, but can still follow up. Nice idea to Brighton, who fancies the goal. Brighton. Their effort deflected. And now Pop looking to hit on the break. That's a good idea with that pass towards Bittenstein. Dutch center forward. Cutting inside with a window. Bittenstein again. Last-ditch defending from Juve has been spectacular so far. Key blocks and key moments.
The game has truly opened up. Anytime Juve presses a little bit higher forward or builds, there are Wolfsburg players like a Paul waiting in those channels just to drive and quickly transition.
Now Bonansea. Tripped up there. Left in there from Hoops. Another longtime veteran of Wolfsburg, over 200 appearances since joining in 2019. Contract up at the end of the year. Those two in Hoots and Alexander Pop, both in their mid-30s. Suggestion of how much longer they will continue, as main pieces at this club. Dijkstra. Nice one touch. Popping of the ball around. Bittenstein this time can't get on that long service, but unable to control it cleanly. Had she done, it would have been an interesting chance. Lenzini. Emma Guda unable to cast that one under her spell, and Wolfsburg to go again. So far, the home side with 61% of the ball as Linder does well to snap in and win it back. Go all the way back to Stina Johannes in goal. Linder. Dijkstra. Mjelde. Nice football going through the lines from Wolfsburg, but what in these sorts of moments? Endemann returning for Linder and sending her on her way. Will have to be at full stretch to get to that one, and taking no chances there. Emma Kuhlberg by conceding a throw.
A really good look here from Wolfsburg. You can see Juventus have opened up. That was the first time Wolfsburg on the ground has been able to play a ball from one side of the pitch to the other and get Endemann into the attack.
Massimiliano Kanzi warning of the individual quality of the Wolfsburg team. He knows this is a real step up in level. They have to be ready for it. They have been so far. Nice combination play down that right, and on goes the cross towards Bienenstein. Well worked there from Thea Mjelde, but just a bit too much on the cross.
Here's such a good build-up, up, back, and through, but Mjelde, the tenacity, shaking off her defenders, and a beautifully whipped ball in behind the back line. And that is a forward's dream and a defender's nightmare, because a forward, you just slide, you get a touch of Bienenstein, that would have been a goal, but as a defender, you don't want to be in the way and try to let the ball go out, and your goal is facing right there.
A bit too much of the curve on that ball towards the goalkeeper for Bienenstein to get onto it. Capetta fighting but unable to get onto it. And now Hoots running with purpose in towards Bienenstein, who had to hold her run. Gets a little cross in, and Endemann was there, but sharp goalkeeping from Daniel de Jong, who got there first.
Really good look. I'm loving this combination between Hoots, Bienenstein, and Endemann. You see Bienenstein just offside here and taking a second look, but it's this cross, the dynamic run here from Endemann, checking away, checking to just enough of a gap to try to get a touch, but a really good look there from de Jong.
Guda. They get around, but given away. Last, the referee getting there and awarding a free kick in the favor of Wolfsburg. Just a bit too much pressure there on Alexandra Popp. Pedemors. Dutch midfielder. 3 Dutch players in the side, 1 in each line. Dutch center back Dijkstra now sliding it across her, Wiedemeyer. Helped on from Endemann towards the run. And Linder, who loves to get forward from left back, provide an option. Nice first touch there from Endemann. And a forward attempt there from Hoots, who couldn't quite get the purchase on the pass out wide. It was on there for Linder and trying to recover it. Free kick well won there by Emma Guda.
What I love here from Hoots is she is all over the pitch. I mean, she was initiating that attack. She made the mistake, gave the ball away, and immediately tracked back, getting that little tactical foul to break up Juventus transition.
A slip there from Capetta. Allows Wolfsburg to recover. Work to do there for Vivian Endemann just to find a window for a pass. Svenja Hoots' position is right wing, but that's sort of in name only. She is absolutely all over. Schell Wiedemeyer. Passing it amongst themselves. Wiedemeyer with the purpose of getting Wolfsburg forward, but difficult pass on there. On the second bite of the apple and settle with Ella Pettimors. Herself has 3 goals in this Champions League, including a brace against Manchester United. Free kick awarded. Hoots fouled off it. And now a free kick that Wolfsburg have intent to send into that penalty area. In at pace, an awkward header, still kept in that area from Minga, and forced to safety there from Kuhlberg.
Wolfsburg's last 2 free kicks haven't been great. It's playing the ball a little bit too short. They have the dynamic players, the height, the tenacity to get in behind Juventus. The service just needs to be much better on those set piece chances.
Quicker play and more hard running here from Endemann. Forces Lenzini to give away a throw. Anna Capeta's goal inside 6 minutes remains the difference in this first leg. Second leg to be played next week back in Torino. Another cross deliver, Biedenstein close, but Kuhlberg closer. Now here's Vangsgaard, but well kept in there from Bielda. Just running out of room there was Hoots. Goal kick awarded. To Hoots' frustration.
I love seeing the 2 veterans go against each other between Bonansea and Hoots. You see Bonansea tracking back, doing the defending. It initially does go off of Hoots, so great call by the referee, but I love that matchup between these 2 captains.
It's been a well-contested game so far. Coming in, this was the matchup of the 2 teams that were most even in the league phase, 8th against 9th. Proven as such. Wolfsburg have had the balance of the play, but Juventus have the lead. Well organized in defending it.
When Juventus are in this mid to low block, this is when they're peak. They're not allowing those balls to go through that Wolfsburg's trying to find into those channels, into their attackers. It's when Juventus goes high and presses where it leaves them super vulnerable.
Bielda. Long ball, and Biedenstein is after it again. Comeback was on in a dangerous area, but Lenzini was closest. A couple of runners nearly getting there and popping Hoots. Smart idea there for Biedenstein. Defeated Svenja Hoots. Tried to slip it beyond Estella, but sharp defending there from the Spaniard. Left for Bielda to take. First season away from her native Norway. She's playing at Vålerenga last. Another free kick awarded. Stella once again sharp into that right position, and Pop getting a piece of her.
You can see here Pop just coming on the backside of her far too late as Gabella plays that ball forward and just clips her. Great call by the referee. I understand Pop's frustration though, you don't want those calls.
Especially in that area of the pitch. Her first Champions League goal right now, the difference. Vangsgaard. Looks better though from Juve. Breaking quickly through Bonansea. Approaching that area. Turning both ways. Bonansea lifting to the back post. It was a good idea. No one there in response. Headed to safety there just to make sure was Janina Minga.
Such great footwork here by Bonansea. She was looking for Gura, who had initially made the run, but Bonansea had a defender in front of her. But a really good look here from Juventus. That big switch, end line getting across. That Juventus DNA we're seeing come back to life.
Bright and short. Lifted back in from Valti, and again it's dangerous, and again it bounced off the top of that crossbar. Goalkeeper doesn't get a hand to it. It is given as a goal kick, but a couple of awkward crosses in this game.
You see Valti looking to whip this in and gets high and just nicks the crossbar. I feel like we might see a little bit of a touch, but difficult to tell.
Goalkeeper, or the referee rather, was well placed and didn't see any touch off the finger from Stina Johannes. That's twice though we've seen those lifted crosses in that hit the top of the bar and are awkward for the goalkeepers. Valti just poking forward and out for a throw. It's the midfield anchor of Arsenal for 7 years, playing alongside Kim Little, part of the side that won the Champions League last year. Now moving on to a new phase of her career, bringing that veteran experience and that winning experience to this Juve side. Lifted forward there from Vangsgaard. Capetta threatening. Johannes under that pressure gives away the throw.
If you're forward on Juventus and you see Johannes play that ball out, you need to continue to press. There are nerves there, the slicing out of bounds. Applying that pressure a little bit higher is going to give Juventus ability to regain the ball higher. They've been sitting far too low, and because of that, those big transitions are few and far in between.
It's measured in their approach, Juve, since taking that lead. They'd love to get to halftime at 1-0. They'd love to get to full-time at 1-0. Managing this tie, but Entenmann has found some space, and once again, with purpose, has to turn back, play with Pedamors, want to invite the right side into the attack. Hoots, sliding back here with Bielda. Bit of miscommunication there amongst the defenders, forcing Johannes to come all the way out and play. Space now opening up, and Pop so good at finding it. Linder making the run forward. Her early delivery is dealt with by Kuhlberg. Linder won that second header. Works to control, trying to buy a free kick, and does. A bailout decision there for Martina Lenzini.
You can see the frustration from the Wolfsburg players, but such a smart play by Lenzini. In disbelief, but a really good look here from Wolfsburg. I love the build out, the ability to get end line. Linder whipping that ball in and the recovery to try to get it back. But I love when we see that, those veteran plays by players on the pitch, knowing when and how to get the fouls at those crucial moments.
Challenge in there from Pop. There was contact there with Capetta, and a late whistle coming in the favor of Juventus. Capetta grabbing at her face, feeling she was hit there, and there's the yellow card shown towards Alexandra Pop. First booking of the game.
Here's another look. Pop just runs through as Capetta pulls that ball back, and you see just completely collide, and Capetta goes down holding her face.
Confirmation there of the booking at first in the tournament for Alexandra Pop. Capetta does seem to show a proficiency with the dark arts. As well to win that free kick, and a booking as well from Puck. clear there.
Clipped, gets the call. You can hear the frustration from the crowd, but you can truly see the frustration on the Wolfsburg players' faces with these fouls that Juventus is getting.
A chance to hit on the break. That's a well-played forward ball there from Pop. And now Vivian Enderman. And Pettimores, nice turn. And still Pettimores, but just a bit too loose there on the touch. Lifts it forward there from Lindet. Will come out for a throw. First half before we get to first half stoppage time. Helped on there from Hooks and a good run from Bielda, but has to retreat. Does well to find the window to play that pass. Pettimores slipping in for Bielda. Good idea. Bielda's cross. That was on the near post there by Harviken. And now a late whistle gone once again. And frustration starting to show in the dugout. Stefan Lurch for Wolfsburg. Later decision there coming from Alina Pesciu.
Yeah, just taking a look at this, is Bielda getting this initial cross. She looks to get this ball again and just gets a touch, clipping her defender, but you can sense the frustration and see it visibly on the Wolfsburg manager, the Wolfsburg players, as it can't be the physical Wolfsburg team that we're so accustomed to seeing, and with Pop getting a yellow card right into halftime. They need to be very careful going into the second half, as those frustrations can build and show up in the physical part of the pitch.
Sent forward towards Wiedenstein. De Jong will come out. Just a 1 minute added at the end of the first half. Poor ball forward there from De Jong. Covered now by Linder. Pettimores. Again a run towards Enderman, who's had so many chances to get running forward, has put in a real shift in this first half. Nothing coming of it there.
As has Goldberg. She has been a sweeper, cleaning up every single ball that has gotten through, every breakaway. She's been the one to secure that it doesn't go forward.
And there goes the halftime whistle. Frustration for Wolfsburg. They concede inside 6 minutes to Anna Capetta, heading in from the corner, delivered by Estella. A few chances for Wolfsburg, but nothing really materializing as yet, as halfway through the first leg, Wolfsburg are trailing by a goal to nil against Juventus here at home. Plenty of halftime reaction coming from our studio team of Hannah Cash, Ali Riley, Janelle Farias, and Jen Beatty coming up next.
on the case of Wolfsburg, okay, I don't think we have time to chat, girls. I think we've got to throw back out to the game because all the players are ready for the second half. Sending you out to your commentators, Darren Jenkins and Chris.
Sorry for rushing you, Hannah, as we got to get going here with the second half, as it is Wolfsburg 0, Juventus 1 after 45 minutes to play. Darren, I ask you that question. What do you see as a potential adjustment here for Wolfsburg in the second half?
Wolfsburg needs to be far more direct. When they let Juventus get into proper defensive shape, it's when they have difficulties getting through. Their best chances came on quick transitions, which seem with Juventus look to get those set pieces, get end lines, but be much more clinical when you're in the attacking third.
As we begin the second 45 minutes from the AOK Stadion, home of the Wolfsburg women's side, hoping to get into the quarterfinals of the Champions League after this knockout round, but Juve have the advantage through 45 minutes and hopping it around nicely here at the start of this second half, but a recover there by Wolfsburg, who will then win a throw. From a Juve standpoint, they got their goal. They've largely settled into their defensive shape, which has been pretty difficult to find a way through. Would you imagine more of the same in the second half?
Absolutely. Juventus are going to approach this with the same amount of discipline they did the first half, if not even more. Sitting back, picking the right times to actually transition, but you're up a goal. You don't have to score another one. You just have to make sure Wolfsburg do not get through, and you can even see it now. Sitting a little bit lower, it's more of a block in the middle of the pitch. It's going to be difficult for Wolfsburg to break it down.
Unchanged as we begin this second half. We'll see what both managers will summon from the bench to potentially swing the game. Wolfsburg have a bit less in terms of depth available for key players out, so only 6 outfield players named to the bench. Coris Vikai, Smila Balotto, Janu Levels, and Camila Couvert all out for Wolfsburg on their senior side. Throwing coming Juve's way to the surprise there, Bella Pedamores. Carbonell's throw in. Space was there to play into Remaguda, but couldn't quite find the run of Anna Capetta. That's the lone goal in the tie so far. For Bielda. Nice turn and play central there from Volti, experienced midfield player. Here's Bonansea for Amelie Vangsgaard, who's switched sides, started this game on the left wing, but has now become the right winger for this Juve team. Able to find a window, but the attempted clearance does go out for a throw to Juve, who might attack with a bit more intent at the start of this second half. Looking for that second goal. It's a big game for a club in Juventus, which are still relatively young, founded in 2017. Have, though, become one of the top teams in Italy. They've won the women's Scudetto 6 times. Find themselves in third in the Serie A Femminile, but you see the Champions League has taken up a fair bit of their consideration. Balti on a second chance at it. Good idea with a square ball into Guda. Balti again. Arias de la Capeta again with the header, and this time forcing Cindy Johannes to tip over the bar.
Really good look here from Juventus. This ball whipped in. Bonacea Capeta on the other side of it, ready to just get a touch. See Bonacea, captain, cheering her team on, knowing that this is how they're going to get another goal. These whipped crosses in, and Wolfsburg, let's see if they can better defend this cross. This is a team that's really struggled in these set pieces defensively.
Brighton's corner, a couple of bodies down. Bonacea had a swing at it, and it goes out of play. Free kick awarded to Wolfsburg for an earlier challenge. Bielda slow to get up.
You have to hope for Wolfsburg's sake that because of that foul, that is why Bonacea was wide open on that back post. It's a really good opportunity, a good look, and Wolfsburg cannot give up set pieces against Juventus. They will punish you.
Away for a throw. Now, Minga with that switch of play, slipped in order to deliver it. Controlled there initially by Papa. Lovely idea out towards Hoods. Tries to cross. Throw it to come for Wolfsburg. Looking for the right service, the right idea. Alexander Papa, so many of those. Linette Wittgenstein trying to offer something from that forward area. Is crowded out of the game in moments. Bielda. Minga in towards that central area, but too much on it towards Caitlin Dykstra. It's well forward from center back there. We go quickly with Hoots. Bielda. Janina Minga, who took on the captain's armband for the German national side of the Euros in the summer. After Alexander Pop's retirement, an injury as well in the squad. Well, that's pinch yourself moments that has taken this big of a step for Wolfsburg again with the German national side.
Speaking of Minga, liking this rotation we're seeing of her popping out wide a little bit more. We haven't said Minga or Pop's name enough in this match for Wolfsburg. I think it's them on the ball is going to help them build out, problem solve, really break down Juventus' very disciplined press.
Trying to do just that here, but that press is causing Wolfsburg problems. Control there from Hoots, but doesn't really allow them to get turned quickly enough to attack a vulnerable shape. And Juve now settling back in. There, Vivian Intiman, who had an assist at the weekend against Kuhn. She's only come off the bench twice in this Champions League. Intiman is a bit of a worry here for Leah Valti. Potentially be her that comes off. As we do see a substitution being readied. Going to be asked to come off at the far side. Be a big miss. And it will be Iva Schatzer who will come in. 21-year-old who came through the youth teams at Juve. And will now stride into the center of the park with Valti coming off.
Losing a lot of leadership in Leah Valti, the Swiss international. She's the tempo maker. She cleans up tackles, not afraid to get stuck in, but also quality. Schatzer, big shoes to fill, but also needing to provide some energy for this Juventus side to keep them in lockstep together, especially in the middle of the pitch against Wolfsburg.
Wolfsburg have yet to really get in any kind of flow from an attacking point of view to turn this scoreline around. Juve have held well. Strong challenge in there. Lenzini. Slow to get up. Minga. An alert first touch to find the space. Bielda. Losing out.
Frustrations for Wolfsburg as they're not getting forward quickly enough. As soon as you let Juventus get into some semblance of their shape in that very dense midfield, Wolfsburg has had not many ideas of how to break it down and get through.
Issue there for Bielda, who goes to ground. As that play was moving, issue for the Wolfsburg right back, who does walk back to her position. An awkward attempt there from Harviken to clear. The club affectionately known as the She-Wolves. Getting forward here. Wittgenstein losing out, but it'll come here for Alexandra Pop, who can shoot, but was crowded off the ball there, and a free kick given against Demaguda. And there will be a yellow card as well, denying Pop's attempts to get a strike away from a promising area.
You can see here Pop just squaring it at that sweet spot outside of the box. And Goda just clips the back of her. Very clear yellow, but a very dangerous chance here for Wolfsburg. Down now, hoping that she's okay after getting some medical attention.
Looked as though she was going to have a pop and goal. Will be awkward for her to get back onto her feet, and could potentially be her to take this free kick. Slow to get up. Wittgenstein looking for a positive moment in the game. Hasn't had too many chances. It's the one that was blocked from Kuhlberg. Pop gingerly walks away, so it won't be her.
So many players of quality here on Wolfsburg that can take this free kick and a great distance from goal, whether you're bending it in for a shot or a cross. One of the better opportunities Wolfsburg has had, especially in the second half.
Deliberating and conversations happening about the contact occurring in the penalty area before this free kick is to be taken. And a cross or a shot. 5 on the wall for Juve. Edamores looking to lift to that back stick, and well dealt with initially, and the chance good for Minga! Free kick awarded for the contact that occurs right on that far post. Estella staying down.
Here's a look back. Just look at this ball whipped in. It's Pop on the back post. And Estella actually colliding with her own teammate here. But it's Minga just wrapping around this. You even had time for a touch off to take it first time with a player of her quality. And just hits that side netting. But a really good look here from Wolfsburg. One that they'll want back and at least get on frame.
Subsequent free kick put back into play by De Jong. for the throw, and it goes the way of Wolfsburg. Again, incident off the ball. It's Pop involved, and yeah, it's a collision of heads, isn't it, with the recently introduced Eva Schatzer for Alexandra Pop. It's going through the ringer a bit these last few minutes.
You know, especially to take Pop down like that, it had to be a very difficult hit. As former players, those are tough. See Bierenstein being a good teammate, checking in on her. Hopefully she's okay.
Slow to get up and just looking a bit worse for wear. So the concern would be about any potential concussion. We'll continue on. With that low ball into the area, they should control from Capeta, now Vangsgaard, and it deflects, and it goes in! Amelie Vangsgaard with a fortunate deflection to give Juve their second goal! An away performance of dreams for the Bianconeri, who lead at Wolfsburg by 2-0.
Just look at this, Abby Brighton whips this ball in and pops over, and just a lucky deflection here as Vangsgaard opts to shoot. Capeta laying it off, and it just is a chip over the top of the goalkeeper into the back of the net. Dijkstra there with the unfortunate deflection, but look at the bench of Juventus and the silence you can hear in Wolfsburg Stadium. It just shows how quickly Juventus are able to transition, take advantage of those moments where Wolfsburg are trying to gather their wits about them, but it's not enough. Brilliant goal there from Vangsgaard.
On towards Bierenstein, and the desperation will only grow from here for Wolfsburg, who find themselves 2 goals down at home. Juve have been vulnerable to conceding goals at times, but they haven't looked at today. They've really locked in defensively since the conclusion of the league phase. They've looked right up for it today. Ball out wide. Bonansea for Lenzini, who lifts in and arriving there at full stretch. The run of Hemaguda. Stella didn't see the challenge coming from behind, but Schatzer will let it run out for a throw.
You can almost feel the edge, the panic that you're getting from Wolfsburg. Now down 2 goals. They're trying to play too pretty, trying to build in these intricate passing patterns. It's not enough. Juventus are so disciplined. Be more direct, make the game ugly. Be the ones that cause the chaos as opposed to just receiving it.
Winner of this tie will advance to face desperately unlucky as to how that goal goes in, but they now have it in their hands over these next 30 minutes or so to start clawing their way back in this knockout round tie. Nice turn, and the attempt to cross in from Linder. Still work to do, though, for Juve defensively, who one imagines will be under the cosh a fair bit. Nice bit of defensive play there from Capeta. She's really put herself about in that center forward area. Flicked away from Bonansea to throw in for Wolfsburg. Bierenstein controls in the area, trying to get turned, but shots are there to put out the fire. All the way back to Sina Johannes in goal. Bielda.
What's been so good for Juventus is not just their first wave of defending, it's the second and third. Every single player has the responsibility to come back, and Bonansea is the one that emulates this the best. The captain on the pitch, you see her number 11 on that right side. She is everywhere, guiding this team. You can tell that everybody else is feeding off of it.
Oops. Now Bielda, that one-on-one, and Stella celebrating. She got the better of Bielda. free kick, resulting in that cramp coming. One imagines Juve will do everything they can perhaps to slow the game down from here. Not to suggest that this isn't a real injury.
It can also be taken advantage of from the Wolfsburg side. This is a team that needs more fire inside it, that needs to be much more direct. We are hardly saying Pop's name, Minga, Bierenstein. These are the players that make you change the way that you have to defend, and we haven't said them enough. Wolfsburg needs to figure out a way tactically to try to break down Juventus.
There's some Max Kanzi, the head coach of this Juve women's side. Just felt that this team have been building toward this. As you see, Emma Kuhlberg coming off. Be a second substitution that will be enforced by a seeming injury should she come out of the game. And now here does come the change, and it will be Viola Caligaris who will come in. Also Chiara Beccari will come in as well. And Beccari will come into the game. See Kohlberg and Capetta coming off.
To take a look back at that Capetta goal off of a corner, that near post sitting in the pocket, just gets what she needs to on the end of it, giving Juventus so much momentum in this game.
There's a way to mark your Champions League debut.
Never forget it.
Frustration there from Emma Kuhlberg. Just trying to turn and go quickly there. Pettimores ran straight into trouble. Now here is Chiara Beccari playing out wide. Bonansea will lift a cross in, and actually ended up being more like a shot in the end, and rather easily handled there from Stylianides.
I like seeing Beccari already involved in this match. That hold-up play sitting in the pocket in front of the back line, behind the midfield line of Wolfsburg. I think that's going to help Juventus break up that play going forward much more.
Bierenstein. Wolfsburg really have found no rhythm in this second half. Difficult to play or get a consistent stream of chances. This is a bit more like it. Hoots making a good run and an early delivery. Bierenstein controls, and Bierenstein for a third time tonight has an effort deflected from long range. Minga getting turned. Will slide out wide for Endemann. That's the overlapping run. The company of Linder, who will lift the cross in. And it was awkward there for Estella. Hoots will play and will lift back in. Only to win a corner for Wolfsburg, but a bit more like it.
Looking much more dynamic here from Wolfsburg, sending crosses and getting end line, trying to get a touch on the ball, but Juventus, I have to feel that these constant blocks, defending life and limb, only gives them more energy going into this game. Their defensive structure is their superpower.
That corner delivered and initially won, and still a chance on here for Pettimores. He delivers that ball once again, and it'll be a second consecutive corner for Wolfsburg. Justine Schieland among those getting ready to enter for the home side. Referee continued to sort things out, the crowding around De Jong. to be playing in. They need to get forward. Loose touch there from Pop, who has to go sliding in and did manage to find it to Pinamores. Space opening up on this right side, but they'll have to go quicker. Linder, now Endeman isolated with Valencia, Endeman! Better for the Wolfsburg winger.
So much better there from Wolfsburg. Another player whose name we haven't said enough is Endeman. She was so lethal in the first half, dictating all of their attacking play. As soon as she's on the ball and can drive much quicker from everybody else around her, the better off for Wolfsburg. Triple change coming. Pinamores, Bielda, and Endeman coming off. They're the changes that come in. Justine Chelon, Guro Bergsman, and Kessia Bousset. So triple change here, approaching the final 18 minutes. Wolfsburg looking for some kind of inspiration from the bench. Bergsman and Bousset, new players into the team, joined in the summer. Bergsman from Brighton in the WSL and Bousset from Paris FC, the French league. Now hoping to make vital contributions to the effort. Play from Endeman, getting the ball, driving forward, and the quick build-up from Wolfsburg, 1 to 2 passes to break them down. Especially Kessia Bousset, that's something she gets from motivation coming into this match. And a free kick awarded to Wolfsburg. Really, since that second goal, Juve have had very little interest in going forward. They're settling back again in their shape. There from Chelon in midfield. Decent run here from Kessia Bousset. Now Minga. Hooks. Lighting into the attack, the run of Wiedemeyer. Gets well forward. Early delivery from Hooks is well handled there from Schatzer. Not attempted, and Hooks directing the movement there of her teammate. Bergsman helping out. So Bergsman will move into the middle. It will be Wiedemeyer moves out wide. The rejiggered defense. Slightly out wide. Here is Wiedemeyer, who gets a powerful cross away. Berenstein tries, and an awkward deflection off Lenzini will come kindly for De Jong. I like this move. Wiedemeyer going wide. It sends Wout more into the middle, sending numbers around in and around the 18. It's going to create so many more chances for them as they can be much more dynamic, much quicker getting forward, and hopefully catch Juventus off guard. Nice football through the middle. Control, and unfortunately not going the right direction though for Wolfsburg. Bergsman. And Berenstein going to profit from the deflection. Here's Berenstein in the area, tried the cutback. It wasn't on for her, controlled it with both feet from the ground, but couldn't quite find the next step. So whiff of a cross there from Berenstein. Now perhaps a moment for Juve to hit on the break. Look centrally towards Vangsgaard, but recovering well. Chelon in midfield. Although a bit clumsy in the end, it was a good look for Wolfsburg. Finally a ball played with enough pace behind it and enough height to finally get behind the Juventus defense. When you have a Berenstein, they need to see more of it, get her going, and then it's going to open up space beneath for Wolfsburg to attack.
the middle just to put herself in the way, close down those passing lanes. Really haven't seen too much from Wolfsburg in this second half. Way of clear chances. I think given the game state, they'd be really packing on the pressure, but Juve have been superb defensively.
Superb. I think that is why we saw them celebrate those small moments that feel a little bit premature as there's still minutes left in this game, but when your game plan defensively is solid and working exactly as you thought it, of course you're going to be excited and hyped and cheering each other on, and you can visibly see the frustration from the Wolfsburg side that they cannot get through this Juventus side.
Back nicely. Schillon. And now Biedenstein playing with Hoots, who will lift in. And there's Bousset who goes for the header. Still a chance on, and was there for Sarai Linder, who just couldn't get through all that traffic. Even when Wolfsburg have found moments, Juve have usually had those last-ditch defenders in the way.
Arguably, Wolfsburg's best chance. Great service here from Hoots. You see Bousset getting on the end, and then the counter pressure here. Linder trying to get something on it, but Juventus, once again, so many numbers back. Bodies blocking the goal. Really good defensive play, but positive from Wolfsburg.
Caligari is the one in the way that time. Schillon will be the one who will take this corner. Lifted in at real pace, comes all the way through, and it was a decent chance there. Deflected away for a corner. Bergsman, the center back, has only just come on with a chance there. Juve will have to get set for another defensive set piece. Hoots being told to hold the taking of this corner. Alina Pesciu making sure everything is okay in the penalty area. Potential check here, the VAR, Lucas van der Dijk taking a look at incidents. Didn't appear to be anything in that corner delivered would suggest anything that merits the VAR's attention. And Butch is just going to walk over as the captain and talk with the referee.
Yeah, it was difficult to see from our angle here what had happened, why there is a VAR check. And the players' body language also, they look confused.
Confused and frustrated. Butch continues to stand around, and the referee is going to go to the VAR monitor here. Could be a potential lifeline coming for Wolfsburg, and we'll have to have a look here at what exactly has come under examination. The monitor is all the way down the other end of the pitch. We're finding out with the rest of us here. Hear that leaping chance at the header, and yeah, that arm was out from the defender, wasn't it? And it kind of comes awkwardly off of the right arm. You'll see it there, and it very much is down the shirt sleeve. It's almost down the elbow. The arm is away from the body as well. The referee, Alina Pesciu, has had the conversation there with Lucas van der Dijk, and after review, it is a penalty to Wolfsburg, and a real lifeline when they needed it. You could say a harsh one against Juventus, but this is exactly what Wolfsburg needed.
Exactly what they needed. Looking back at that replay, you could tell it was awkward. It was difficult to see, but clearly off of the arm of the defender. As Wolfsburg, it's Mingo who steps up to take this. This could be the momentum they need and a push for the last 10 minutes in this match to get one back.
2 goals in the league phase. 6 on the season, but none since October the 15th. And Ina Minga, big moment of the game. Referee just making sure everything's sorted on the edge of that area. But also allowing for even
they just need to go much more direct in the run of play and keep applying the pressure.
Now a change happening as Paulina Krummeigel will come in, and Maguda is off. Also, Lindsay Thomas, the French midfielder, will enter as well. And it is Barbara Bonansea who will come off. So Juve using their full allotment of 5 substitutions. They'll take their time in doing so.
Absolute class from Bonansea, but these substitutions make sense, putting in fresh legs for the last 10 or so minutes, resurging energy, being a little bit more defensive for the Juventus side just to lock out Wolfsburg.
Schatzer with a nice switch of play, and Lindsay Thomas has only just come on. Hoping to get forward for Juventus. The scoreline will do them just fine going back to Turin, but still a chance to add to their lead before they depart Germany. Nice control into the area, Vangsgaard, and the first time attempt was on there for Krummeigel, but couldn't get enough power in it. And straightforward work there for Johannes.
Very direct here from Juventus. It's just 1 to 2 passes. It breaks down Wolfsburg. They're playing square across the 18. Can be much cleaner.
Krummeigel did score at the weekend for Juve against Como, former Hoffenheim player. Experience playing against Wolfsburg in the Frauen Bundesliga. Purpose and intent. Now the last throw of the dice coming here from Wolfsburg, and Lena Lappbein will come in, and Biedenstein is the one who makes way. A quiet night for her.
Very quiet night, and not completely her fault. There wasn't enough service or quality service getting up to her, using her talent, her speed to get in behind and have Juventus have to stop her. But we have to credit to Juventus with their defensive prowess by not even allowing service up there. Equalizer would serve them well, going towards Torino. It'll be a difficult comeback attempt. Down the line for Bousset. Too slow for Wolfsburg. Far too slow. You only have 5 minutes left. It's time to go direct. The beautiful play, the switching the point of attack, yes, but it's not a time to play pretty football. It's time to make it ugly at home before you go to Turin and take Juventus on next week.
Largely stuck to their way of playing, no matter the game state. Have to find some more dangerous chances. Hoots coming back into midfield. It's it forward. Flinging it though for Wolfsburg to feed on. Here's Bergsvan. Bousset. Idea to come central, but attempt to play didn't quite come off there with Lappbein, who's entered. Womensfootball. Wiedemeyer. A lot of work for Hood to do here. Is basically on an island, but just about does it. Attempted flick on there from Chalon, did not come off, and now Juve can think about going on the break here through Paulina Krummeigel. Schatzer. Love to control deployed at that center forward right now. A kind role here from a Wolfsburg point of view. Wood receiving from Latvine, and Wood trying across, and another deflection away.
Those are the moments for Wolfsburg where you have the advantage, you have the speed, and it's just sloppy.
Cross delivered, and it's flicked on. Bousset has a go, and lifts wildly out for a goal kick.
It's a good attempt here by Bousset, just coming into the match, trying to get a shot on target, but like I was saying before, it's not clean enough. It's Wolfsburg. You are decorated in this Champions League. There's not enough punch when they get into the attacking third, not enough conviction or belief in themselves that something's going to formulate from it.
Now the referee is going to trot over and hand out a yellow card to Daniel de Jong for time wasting. Still making sure those studs are clear. Final 90 seconds of the 90. Step forward from Estela. Juve looking to hang on to this advantage. The crowd hoping for a free kick in their favor, but it is Hoots who gets the play going once again. Juventus getting a pair of goals, one either side of halftime. Capetta opened the scoring. Vangsgaard with a kind deflection. Wolfsburg had one on the board through a penalty, converted by Yanina Minga, the third goal of this Champions League. Love to get an equalizer before the second leg next week. We played at the Allianz Stadium. Lifted forward once again.
Difficult for Thomas to try to get around their defender, but I like this from Wolfsburg, sending the ball in, picking up the first and second ball defensively to then drive. They're not able to gain ground when the ball is on the floor. Send it. Get those numbers in and around the 18.
Exactly what they'll do here with his free kick. Justine Chalon. Lifting into that danger area. Latvine is there and got the header to it. But it was right at Daniel de Jong. Minimum 5 minutes now at the end of this second half for Wolfsburg to find an equalizing goal.
The best set piece so far that we've seen from Wolfsburg. Latvine getting it on the end of it, but not enough for the direction to at least test de Jong.
Towards the run-up pop. It's flying forward, and that'll be claimed by de Jong, but a direct ball not really coming off.
Where you're almost missing that pace of Bierenstein.
Well recovered now by Chalon. Wiedemeyer. Real credit to the discipline of Juventus and their shape. So difficult to find gaps. Wiedemeyer. Another long ball sent forward. Bousset's in there, punched away from de Jong. There was a collision in the area that the fans are asking for more from. As is Stefan Lurch in the Wolfsburg dugout. Nothing in it in the judgment of the referee. Alexandra Pop is still slow to get up. Appeals will be for the VAR to come to their aid once again after the earlier handball. Johannes. A loose ball, and going for it there was Feigl who gets a healthy chunk there of Wiedemeyer. Now the referee just having a word there with Alexandra Pop. situation as well with Caligaris as well. Didn't appear as though Lucas van der Dijk, the VAR, was going to intervene. There will be a free kick to come on halfway. Straightforward header there from a Juve standpoint, but sharp work there. Now a nice first touch here from Dijkstra, who will get the cross in, an awkward slice clearance. Minga on the volley. Audacious, but on target.
I mean, absolute quality here from Minga, even with the audacity to take that off of the volley. But once again, it's Wolfsburg. When they are direct, they are getting in line, getting crosses in. That is when they're dangerous. Juventus are going to lay in trying to waste these waning seconds and minutes, so Wolfsburg doesn't get another opportunity here.
advantage going into the home leg next week. But last kick of the game, and it was Saray Linda to score for Wolfsburg, 2-2. What have we just seen there, girls?
I think this is just disappointing for Juventus because I think they had a really solid game. I think they might have deserved more, but I mean, soccer's not about what you deserve, it's about getting the ball in the back of the net, and Wolfsburg did that today.
It was phenomenal, Andy. I mean, what a finish. I mean, we're watching it here in the studio, and they needed it, and that'll feel like a win. You can see the celebrations, look at the smiles from Linda there, knowing that you've just gained a bigger advantage going in away. That was so important, I think, for this team, not just mentally, but going into next week. They dominated that game. Look at the possession stats. Made more chances, more attempts on goal, and I think that was a well-earned draw for them going into next week.
And for Juve, it's going to feel like a loss.
Yeah, you
because
you're
head in hand. Up 2-0, then you concede a goal, you concede the second goal in the 95th minute. That's rough. We saw somebody with their head in their hands like that. Like, that's really, really, really rough. But I still think that Juve has good things to take from this game.
Yeah, sure. Do you think they have an upper hand going into this game? We think Wolfsburg now. I mean, Linda got her first goal in all competition. She'll be buzzing to go to that next game next week.
Honestly, I think Wolfsburg should be more confident. I think they dominated the game. Yes. A corner being conceded in that way, creating more chances, finishing the game the way they did, just take that into next week and know that you can perform and go and beat Juventus, I think.
Yeah, well, one person who won't be too happy with the result is Kelly, because she's obviously rooting for Juventus in this competition.
Right.
And I think we were trying to spot her in the crowd at the Wolfsburg Arena, but we didn't really get to see. Is she there?
Is that her there?
Is that her? There's
quite
Gatsby in the
back.
There she is, yeah. She, of course, is there. She showed up at the Wolfsburg Arena.
Did she change her wardrobe? Look at that.
That was
that time to change her wardrobe.
That was her face when the goal went in. Not too happy, I'm sure.
5.
Exactly. Okay, everybody, what a game in Germany. We had Wolfsburg with 2 late goals to escape with a 2-2 draw against Juventus, and this tie remains very much alive heading into next week's second leg in Turin. But up next is our second playoff game of the day. Mark Skinner's in for Manchester United are travelling to always tough Atletico Madrid. Stay with us, everyone. We're going to get you set for that game now.